Hey, Audacious Beast, welcome back to my channel. My name is ScottyAllenDay. Amazing challenges happen all over the social media. What if one person sets the rules for several amazing survival challenges and provided extra points for interesting mini games or mini challenges? In today's video, I will explain how my survival challenge would heat up the competition. My notes. I'm going to make a t-shirt that says, my notes. Now, if I were to do this type of survival challenge, I would choose maybe a team of 5 YouTubers. A big prize would just go to a charity of their choice or something like that. I don't know. I would just like to see these 5 turn around and do it. The only question is I can't find the 5th one. And I know I've seen their videos, but I can't find them. So, first one is going to be Dangy Bros. I mean, they do plenty of challenges. Mr. Beast, of course. Dude Perfect, absolutely. And then I just recently found another channel called Fishing with the Yak Pack. That's an interesting one. Not really 100% my choice, but I wanted to throw one in there. Now, for number 5, I cannot find that 5th one. Now, I've seen these people before, and I've watched these videos before, and then all of a sudden they just disappeared off the face of the internet. So, if you have a recommendation of who you would pick for our 5th one, drop that in the comment section below, and let's get on with what I was talking about with the challenges. So, at the beginning of the entire video, each team is going to go shopping for each of the 5 challenges. Each team would go shopping. They would have a $200 limit, a $400 limit, $200 limit, $400 limit, $600 limit, $800 limit, and a $1,000 limit. They'll all roll the dice and, or just reach into a hat and pull out a gift card, and whatever that is, that's their spending limit for that particular challenge. And they'll do it for all 5 of those challenges. So, or it'll be a little bit shorter, a little bit smaller, but you get the point. So, they'll have that type of money for the very first one, which is the Essentials Challenge. Which would be my first challenge. It would be food, first shelter, and fuel. Food, first shelter, and fuel. So, for example, fuel, somebody would buy somebody a hatchet and get them some matches. For somebody else, it would be a flint and steel. Screw you, you're going to make your own fire. For somebody else, they may buy them a pocket knife. As far as food, they're going to probably, I mean, if somebody puts in fresh food and it spoils, somebody's out of food. But, as part of the essentials, there'll be a small list of what they have to purchase. And then the rest of the leftover, they soup it up with. So, the first thing that they have to purchase is going to be a sleeping bag. Second one will be like a bug out bag. Actually, the bug out bag will be provided, because the bug out bags sometimes tend to be a little bit expensive, and that should be included in the cost. So, the bug out bag, and then, well, you have each team, depending on how many people are on, well, they got to get sleeping bags. They got to get something they can be able to sleep in. And then as far as the fuel and the food, whatever's left over. Now, the best part about this is they reach in and they grab that and they got to go shopping. Now, if they go shopping because they think it's going to be for somebody else, they could actually grab the wrong crate. Once everything is done, it's thrown into a crate. The crate is boxed up and it's put into a warehouse. Now, each row, it doesn't matter where it's going to go. Nobody knows which row is what. Nobody knows which crate is who. All it is put into the warehouse. The second one is a distress signal, shelter beef improving from the first shelter, food, and then of course we're going to do some primitive combat for the mini game. Now again, it's food, enhancing the shelter, and a distress signal, and maybe a few other things to be able to go along with that second challenge. Now, one of the big things with that primitive combat is making your own bow and arrow, or making a spear, so that you can be able to simulate hunting. You got to be able to survive. You're in the middle of nowhere. You got to simulate hunting. The third one would be Shelter C, an improvement for the shelter. Edible plants, identification. They got to make a meal out of edible plant. And then, of course, a few more survival games. Now, I'm going to stop right here before I continue on. One of the big things that's going to be included with all of this, because I just did a video on all these challenges causing environmental damage. Well, every single one of these survival challenges would end up with some kind of a porta potty, so that they can be able to dispose of human waste properly. Instead of digging a foxhole, not only are you going to have 4 people doing the challenge, you're also going to have the camera crew there. So you're going to have about another 4 people there. You're going to have the judge there. You're going to have people that are making sure that everything is done the way it's supposed to. And all of a sudden, at one campsite, you're going to have at least a dozen people to watch over these people doing the challenge. If you're going to dig a foxhole for these amount of people, you're going to do some environmental damage if you don't know how to be able to take care of the foxhole. So, again, they're going to have some kind of a porta potty. Now, the fourth one is going to be a Shelter D, an improvement with the shelter. So, I mean, as they escalate, they could either begin just a tiny tent, or a tarp, and then a tent, and then all the way up to a cabin tent, or they're going to end up with a tiny tent, a cabin tent at the beginning, and they don't need the other ones, so what are they going to use with the other tents? Probably going to be used for supply tents or whatnot. But as they go, they have to improve their campsite. So it's either they got to make a table, or they got to do some lashings, or try and figure out how to get a table up, or how to rope up a chair, or just to try and improve the way of life. Now, the fourth one is going to be, again, Shelter D. And again, it's going to be a bunch of games. And then they're going to end up doing a map and compass, like if they were going to try and hike their way out. How are they going to figure out how to get out and come back without getting lost? If they got lost, well, they got a big problem. And then the last part, of course, is going to be what I'm a big fan of. I'm going by my notes. Is leave no trace. If at any time during that survival challenge that a piece of paper, a piece of plastic, or anything that could be able to contaminate the surroundings that they're in blows off in the wind, they've lost that last point. And, you know, it's very important that type of thing happens. It doesn't matter if a guy goes and pees on a tree. That's, you know, that's natural. Guys have to go pee on a tree, but somebody else is in the pot. Well, guy goes and pees on a tree. You're pretty much not leaving a trace that way either. So, leaving no trace. And then the second part, the second different challenge that I would also recommend is when they do these raft survival challenges. Now, I spoke again about these on environmental damage, and they never do them right. So, let's say that you did a survival raft challenge, and then you start off with an 8x8 platform. And each day during the course of the week, or every other day during the course of the week, or the first 4 days during the course of the week, they receive a new platform, a new 8x8 platform, and then eventually they end up with a 64x64, 32x32 platform. 32 feet, that's not too bad. I mean, you could actually fit 3 humans head to toe on that each way. So you can actually fit 9 people on that raft. You can make it bigger if you want. Well, I said 4 deliveries. So second one, third, 4th. Whatever it comes out to, I would say 5th. And then you could end up with, if you end up with 5 deliveries, that's 6 boards, 1, 2, 3, 4, you'd end up with a rectangular raft. Okay, well, it just expands the raft. So now, with this particular survival challenge, each piece of the raft is going to be bringing in supplies. Now, after the 5th piece of the raft is done, they're surviving. That's it. That's all they're going to get. The only thing that the boat's going to come and get is the latrine, take it in so it can get pumped, and bring it back out to the raft. That's the only thing I would, recommend doing. So, again, what they're doing is they're, again, with each of these crates that are made. Well, each crate is made, it's set into a warehouse, and each team gets to roll the dice, and when they get a certain amount, they're going to pick which crate that they want. Walk right down the line, they're going to pick what crate they want. If there's any marking on a crate or anything that's left over from that team to be able to cheat, well, they get the last crate. They disqualify themselves for rolling and picking what crate they want. So, that's the big part is they get to go and they pick a crate. They don't get to touch the crate. That's go in and say, okay, I want number 1, number 5, number 3, number 4, and number 2. And that's what they get throughout the rest of the challenges. They don't know what's in what crate or what position each crate is in, which makes it a little more devious. So again, on the survival raft challenge, again, it's food and fuel. It's improving the raft. I mean, there may be 2x4s to be able to build another piece of the raft or build a shelter, or just basically just giving them a tent so they can be able to nail it to the platform. So, and then the fishing challenges, and then being able to, a boat comes out and gives them a kayak, and they're going to go and do a kayak race, or give them a simulation of a fishing net with just the net part, and say, okay, there's crustaceans down at the bottom. You're going to figure out how to make a crawdad net, get it down to the bottom, catch a bunch of crawdads, bring it back up, and then you get a bonus meal kit to go with your dinner. That would be a fun challenge to be able to do. They turn around, they drop it to the bottom of the lake, they catch the crawdads, and then they get a little bit more for dinner. And every day they have to be able to catch fish. If they caught enough for a meal to feed the raft, they get a bonus point. So that means you're going to see those fishing poles out off that raft all day long. Mainly because they're trying to catch their food. It's not like you've seen with the Dangy Brothers and Mr. Beast, and they just throw the line out and they fish for 20 minutes, and then that's the end of it. They're not going to fish anymore. And they're going to go and eat candy bars, saying, okay, well, we're done. No. So a true survival challenge, and make it competitive between each one of those. Or one of them creates a competition with a bunch of other people to come out and compete against each other. But man, that's going to be a lot of people. So I just wanted to get that out there. I thought it'd be fun just to be able to, brainstorm and come up with a survival challenge. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Again, if you know somebody that could be able to be good with this particular challenge, drop that in the comment section below. If you like the way I talked about this challenge, put that in the comment section below. If you like the video, please share the video and like the video. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss another video. And until next time, keep on rocking.